TitleMatchNetwork.com.
Who came up with the arm wrestling challenge?
Stu Hart. Stu Hart came up with the arm wrestling challenge. He said, well, I'm going to take you all the way around the loop. Get out there and we'll give $500, offer $500 that anybody can beat you. I said, you might as well offer $1,000, do $5,000. I said, none of these farmers are going to beat me. Well, I'm bench pressing 600 pounds. I'm full of steroids. I am strong. And I knew how to arm wrestle. I knew all the gimmicks, all the little tricks, leverage, stuff like that. And so that's what we did. Went around the loop. And I said, do offer $1,000. Offer $1,000. So anybody in the audience, challenge anybody, come up out of the ring. And went around the loop, arm wrestling all the farmers, put their arm down, and beat everybody. And so I was over right away with everybody. But then the following week, I had to wrestle. When they saw me wrestle, I lost my heat, man. I couldn't wrestle. They went, the guy got arm wrestle, but he can't wrestle. So, but that spurred the arm wrestling angle in my head. So I took that with me throughout the rest of my career.
What are your memories of Stu Hart?
Stu Hart was so exceptionally unique and had his own unique charisma. And I call it charisma because he just would draw you into conversations, and he was just an incredibly engaging person, and it was just like when he came into a room, there was just something about his presence, and I immediately was taken by him. He was just an awesome guy,
Did Stu ever stretch you?
Yes. Yes, Stu said, let me see your neck and bring me your neck down like a fool. And I, of course, was not smartened up at the time. My friend who got me to Calgary had not smartened me up. And especially to Stu and his devious and evil almost this urge he has to hurt people and to stretch people. So I gave him my neck, and of course he cranked it up and took me down to the mat, and of course I couldn't get up. And when I did, I said, this is my first training session with Stu. I said, I think it's over. This training session is over. And I walked out there like that, and that was Stu Hart, man. He had no mercy on anybody.
Eventually, you stuck with it at least. There's stories about Stu's cats crapping in the food at the house. Is that true?
Doing what?
There's a couple stories that said Stu's cats crapped in the food in the house there.
Oh, I don't know about that story. All I knew that he made his one of his sponsors for Calgary Wrestling was Safeway Foods, and he would go through the Safeway, and he would collect all of their discarded fruit, bananas, stuff like that were getting aged and beginning to rot and things like that, and bring them home to feed the family. And so I was a lot of times digging into that big giant box of rotting fruit that Stu provided. I call it a fitting banquet for a dungeon, and it pretty much was.
How did you adjust to the climate change coming from Arizona and then going all the way to Calgary?
It was total shock. And you talk about culture shock. This was shock. Born and raised in the desert, 120 degrees all summer long. Had never been in snow. Had never been in cold weather. Drove up there, and my first night in Calgary, when I woke up the next morning, the television said that it was 60 below zero. In the shade. Shade makes a difference. And so I woke up, I left Phoenix, it was 80 degrees, beautiful, got to Calgary, 60 below zero, the car doors frozen shut. Breath, I try to breathe, your nose, your nostrils would freeze. Walked on this frozen ice and snow to a restaurant next to the hotel. It was like, man, how could anyone even live in this climate? So it was a huge shock. It was a huge shock.
What are some of your favorite matches you ever had?
Dusty Rose in the Garden bull rope match.
Mm-hmm.
Bruno Sammartino title match. return match of Bruno Sammartino and Andre the Giant.
Who was the best and worst promoter you ever worked for?
Best, Paul Bosch.
Right.
Payoff.
That's Texas, right?
Yeah. Houston. Yeah.
And who was the worst you ever worked for?
These Tennessee fools. Tennessee, the old school Tennessee guy.
You talking about Jared or?
No, there's some guy named Blind Guy. Who was the blind guy? Yeah.
You mentioned before, like your injuries and everything like that, and it's tough for you to travel. But do you enjoy coming out to these events?
Oh yes, well, I would do anything for this guy here, Scott. Yeah,
Scott,
he called me. I'm there for you.
Right.
But I just wouldn't go to any because this is New York.
Right.
This is special, New York.
Definitely.
Yeah.
What keeps your marriage so strong today?
Oh, it's my wife. Her commitment. It was not me. Not anything I do. It's the woman.
We've gone over it in the whole entire shoot, like how many things you've done for the business, and how many people bid off you and everything like that. Do you think sometimes your influence on the business is sometimes shortchanged, and people don't give you as much credit as you deserve?
Oh, I don't know about the people, the fans, but the wrestlers. The wrestlers know. Yeah, that's all that counts. The wrestlers themselves know the impact. I can feel the respect.
Would you ever be interested in writing another book?
Not really. No.
Just everything the first time around.
Yeah, not really.
In your career, who did you find was really overrated and really underrated?
Very hard question. That would take some thought. Bruno was obviously never overrated. He was legit, living legend. And I never really paid that much attention to it. Mm-hmm. See, I never, about stats and about ratings and stuff like that.
Right.
Just never paid attention to it.
You said before you paint and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
What else do you do today? What's like a normal day for you?
Oh, I train every day, every morning. I'm in the gym, and then I paint. And working out, and I got the liver transplant. I feel great. I'm good to go. I was really excited about coming back here to meet some of the guys. Yeah, back to the deal here in New York. To see some of the guys and stuff, and make a little payday and everything. But no, I said these guys miss it. I don't miss it.
Is that a reason why I don't do too many of these conventions and wrestling shows? And
also because of my injuries and traveling. Traveling's tough for me. I got all the metal in my hips and ankles. I set off these alarms, brother, 5 feet away. I set that thing off. Got to sit down, take off your shoes. They wand me. They go for the explosive residue. Shoot, man. And this guy checking me out in Phoenix on the way here. I had Eddie Guerrero's T-shirt on, my man Eddie. And, oh, yeah, superstar. He says, I said, man, I got to sit you down, brother. I got to wand you, man. I said, that's cool, brother. Don't worry about it, man. He said, yeah. He says, you want to take your shoes off for me? I said, man, it's hard. He's okay. Just don't worry about it.
Said, that's awesome.
TitleMatchNetwork.com